January is flying by. We're heading to the third week of January, and you're like, Michelle, there is so much noise about the market. You're following at least 5 different agents. They're spamming you, sending you, DMing you, putting all these messages out there into the world. You have Uncle Jim over there who's being like, no, the market is shit. You cannot do what you're doing. You know Susan, who lives a couple streets over, who already has her house up on the market, and you're just like, I'm behind, I'm confused, I am lost. What do I do? Hey, it's Michelle with Sold by Stokes. Here's your quick market minute. And this is like reality. It might not be that extreme for a lot of you, but for many of you, there's a piece of all those situations and scenarios I just shared with you that is filling your brain, that is being internalized, that is being eyes, ears, you're hearing it around the lunch table, you're seeing it on social media, you're seeing it in the news, you're wondering, you're worried, you're what if. And if it's not your story, if this doesn't resonate with you, you know someone around your work break table, within your first 5 DMs in your phone, you know somebody who is being bombarded and overwhelmed and filling their brain and their day-to-day with these conversations because they don't know where to begin or start with their home buying or selling journey here in 2026. And to put all this into perspective, you're not supposed to know. If this resonates with you, if this resonates with your brother, if you know someone, you send them this video as you're watching it, they're not supposed to know all the answers. It is not a clear path from point A to C to D without having proper communication, without having like what ifs, without having like 1 step forward, 2 step backs. That's not how this works. This is real life in real estate, and it's not always a walk in the park. So what I can say, if you're comparing yourself to Susan down the street who already has her house on the market, she's had 36 viewings, she's over the moon, she has her house picked out, and you feel like you're left behind, you're not left behind. Your story, her family life, your life might seem very similar on the outside, but you don't know all the day-to-day and everything that's happening behind them. You don't know when they met with their realtor, their mortgage broker, when they sat down and just verbal diarrhea vomited everything out into the open and sat with their trusted realtor to lay it all out. That might have happened back in August of last year. It could have happened in December. Everyone's timeline and readiness varies. It's no set, I meet with someone today and I have everything figured out tomorrow. Sometimes it takes 6 days, sometimes it takes 6 weeks, sometimes it takes 6 months for people to feel prepared and ready and to pull that trigger. That uncle who's telling you that the market is not for you right now, is not a good time to buy or sell. Maybe it's not a good time to buy or sell for him. You think about it. If he has a home, he owns his home probably outright, and he hasn't bought or sold a home maybe in 40 years, hypothetically. Things have changed so much from then. So taking that at face value, that the market's no good for you right now, is not great advice. And once it's all laid out, you might be like, no, it's actually not a good time for me to buy or sell right now. And that's okay. That's what we're here for, help you realize, to help you make that decision. Not for us as your trusted advisor, as a stranger, as a realtor, inviting us into your home. We don't have that trust yet. We're building it. It's not our job to tell you what to do. It's our job to lay everything out, set a foundation for you to have all the information, all your questions, all your what ifs, all the things laid out, and to give you clarity. You might actually get 2 realtors in. You might be following 5, 10, 15 realtors. Like, come on, there's a lot of us. And sometimes those messages resonate. Sometimes you're like, unfollow, delete, I'm scared, I don't want that. And sometimes you're like, oh, I need them in my kitchen. And you may talk to several of us. And all of us have different perspectives, different ways to, even on our team, like we will explain things a little bit differently. But fundamentally, foundationally, we are on the same boat to make sure that people are aligned and that their personal circumstances, their work life, their financials, their families, their schedules, like all those things have to line up. And sometimes there's a what if, a sacrifice, I'm just going all in moment, and it works out. There might be some hiccups and like bumps along the way. That's okay. That's why you have someone with you at your table at the beginning to lay everything out. You have someone with you along the whole journey to make sure at the end you feel confident and comfortable with your decision. If you do nothing else with Sold by Stokes and real estate at all this year, one thing I wish you would do is send this video to someone you care about, someone who you know is on that fence, who's had that life change, positive, negative. It could be a new job, financial, they have a new baby, they've outgrown their home, maybe there's a death, divorce, maybe there's some disability, maybe there's some kind of sad, uncertain situation. It is not all positive, that people are just in a dilemma, in a change of life, that a new home is in their foreseeable future, and they just need that person to sit down with them and help them and cancel out all the noise and just give them that free space to sit down and lay it all out, give them all the information that they need or want, or as little as they need or want, and answer those questions so they can just debrief and make their collective best decision. Winning in today's market might look different to me versus you, to another agent, to your uncle, to Susan down the road. Winning in today's market is what winning looks like to you. So if you have questions about real estate, about buying and selling in today's market currently, 6 months down the road in 2026, whatever your timeline you feel is, Sold by Stokes is here as your trusted resource and confidant for you to come in when you are ready for us to lay out and have a conversation and help you make the best informed decision. So until next week, I will chat soon. Maybe have some numbers, maybe not. Whatever you need in today's market, pop it in the DMs. We would love to answer your questions and just give you that trusted advice when you are ready. Bye.